back to Rugged Mountain Homestead. My name is Sarah, and today is Thursday, August 1st. And why is that such a big deal? Well, for the first time ever, I am going to be participating in the Three Rivers Homestead Every Bit Counts Challenge. I have followed Jessica at Three Rivers Homestead for quite some time, actually while we were still living in Charlottesville, and just have never participated before. Well, what the Every Bit Counts Challenge is actually challenge you each and every day for the month of August to preserve. Most of the time people are preserving so that they have something for later on in the winter. Canning is a huge undertaking, and it's something that I do a lot of, but I am also one of those people that get into a canning marathon and will spend several days, if not a week, preparing different things, canning it. So what I'm going to do is participate in this challenge and see if it helps out. So we can do this together. I have not completely figured out what my schedule is going to be, whether I'm going to film what I'm doing every single day and post it once a week, or try and it would be craziness to post every single day. The editing process takes a little while. So I haven't quite figured that out, but I will be documenting every day. So just keep an eye out until I can kind of get in the groove of it. And please, if you want to participate in the challenge as well, go ahead and mark it in the comments and use the hashtag everybitcountschallenge. And let me know, what you do as well. Let's, bounce our ideas off one another. You don't have to have a garden in order to preserve. Last year, as those of you who've been following me for a little while know, my garden completely failed. Absolutely bombed. And so I had to get a lot of the produce and things like that in bulk, and then I did preserving that way. But I'm gonna be doing all kinds of different things. I've been gathering my ideas together. And so for day one today, what I'm going to be doing is basil pesto. To me, what it also is using up your leftovers and how you use them later. So today, doing basil pesto, I went out this morning and harvested 3 cups of sweet basil. I did not take the camera with me. It is so hot here. Today is like 97 that I didn't want my camera to overheat. The garden this morning was already showing signs of the heat. The leaves were limp, and anyway, so I was able to harvest 3 cups of basil. I didn't know at the time how much it was. I just went ahead and I picked the basil, brought it into the house, and then I soaked the heat off of it so that it would kind of green back up, and of course clean it as well. Then I measured it out, and that's what let me know I have 3 cups. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how I make basil pesto. So I'll be using the food processor and just dropping in my 3 cups of fresh basil leaves, fresh washed basil leaves. If you're not growing basil, you can also get sweet basil at a farmer's market. You can get it in the store. Of course, it might actually be a little bit expensive in the store to get this much. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. and 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. And I just put it in here because I didn't have a smaller container. Three cloves of chopped garlic, and I put it in just a little bit of olive oil so that it would come out of the cup pretty easily. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and combine this down a little bit before I add the olive oil and the Parmesan cheese. Okay, now at this time I'm going to take half a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. You can use grated, you can use whatever you have. That's kind of the point too. Okay, and now I'll take the half a cup of olive oil. I'm using this sparingly because it's so expensive. So I'm going to go ahead and start with half a cup, just drizzle it down in there while it's mixing. I'm going to continue to do that until it gets to the consistency that I want. This actually looks really good. Nice and bright green. Smells wonderful. I love the smell of basil. Smells like summertime, tastes like summertime to me. Yeah, I think that's going to work. So let's see how much this made and how much I can get into this pint jar. Hopefully, maybe we'll see if it even fills it up. Okay. And hopefully I can do this without making too much of a mess. It is looking like this is not even going to make a pint jar. Okay, now it didn't make quite a pint jar, probably 3/4. Look how bright green that is. That is so pretty. Anyway, but this is the recipe for one meal. This is what I would warm up and pour over pasta. So how it can be preserved is it could be in a wide mouth jar. You could go ahead and freeze it, but this is how much it made. This is enough for a meal. This will also be a great treat in the winter because just the smell alone and the taste, the freshness of the herbs, that's great to have in the winter. Open that up and it's like tasting summer all over again. So for day 1 of the Every Bit Counts Challenge, that is what I'm preserving, basil pesto. To give you some idea, I have 4 sweet basil plants, and what I harvested this morning was 3 cups. So it just depends on how many plants you have or how much you buy at the store or the farmer's market or wherever you're getting your basil from if you want to try and make this recipe. I'll go ahead and also leave it in the description box below so that you can have it for future use if you'd ever like to try it. So thank you for joining me on Rugged Mountain Homestead today, for starting the Every Bit Counts Challenge, and I will look forward to seeing you next time when we're back in the kitchen seeing what we are preserving next. So thank you for joining me. I'm always so glad when you do. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, take care.